to Livestream Hub. I'm joined with Drew Wilkinson, one of my personal friends, a very good friend of mine, who I met at GreenBiz Net Zero and have honestly been loving following your career projection.
Thank you.
So, Drew, please introduce yourself, and then I will proceed to grill you.
Okay, I'm ready to be grilled. Hi, everyone. My name is Drew Wilkinson. I am a climate activist, community organizer, and a co-founder of Microsoft's 10,000-member employee sustainability community. I was at the company for 7 years, but I now run my own consulting business called the Climate Leadership Collective.
Yeah.
And all I work on is employee engagement, so workforce activation to make sustainability part of everybody's job.
We've been talking about that a lot, actually on Livestream Hub.
Okay.
And Drew, you wear so many different hats. You're like ex-punk rocker, ex-Microsoft, current employee engagement consultant, and founder, eco-pirate in the past.
True.
Can you, with all these hats, can you give us a closet tour? What do you do?
Yeah.
What does life look like for you?
Yeah, well, I feel like I've lived a couple of different lives at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
So I definitely had a pirate hat for a little while. I was on board a ship with Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. And I had a mohawk for a little while, so I guess that was maybe my punk rock hat.
Okay.
But I don't know, I think there's actually a lot of common threads between all of it, or at least it's my life and my career, and that's how it's all felt. So in a funny way, the things that I learned doing direct action, environmental activism, doing community organizing in an underground music scene, all became things that were actually super relevant and useful in corporate life. And so I brought those skills to bear. And now that I'm running my own business, I feel like I have found this really beautiful sweet spot right between the kind of scrappy punk rock from origins and the corporate professionalism from the most recent era, and I'm somewhere right in the middle now.
Okay, we love that. And something that is so, I feel like a common thread amongst a lot of sustainability professionals is that wearing of many hats and that experience that really blends into this beautiful creation of what you do now, which is focusing on employee engagement and how to mobilize internal departments to help companies reach their sustainability goals, but also to help companies keep accountable with their sustainability goals.
Definitely.
And something that you've been noted for in Fast Company and other publications is your work on growing huge workforce activation around sustainability. So when you think about circularity, how does that employee engagement piece sort of come in for you?
Yeah, it's a super fascinating intersection. And admittedly, circularity is not my area of expertise. I'm here very much to learn from all of these wonderful experts. But when you think about most sustainability teams in an organization, they're chronically under-resourced. They don't have that much influence. They don't have that much power. If there is anybody who's responsible for circularity programs, it's one person maybe, or two or three. It's very, very small proportionally to the overall size of the workforce. And so when you think about that other 99% of your workforce who aren't sustainability professionals, who maybe don't know anything about circularity, those are the people that are actually making the decisions day in and day out that impact your waste stream, your product design, your product development. They have an enormous ability to actually help you reduce your overall footprint and create more circular systems. And so I think of that kind of intersection of employee engagement and circularity as a way to bring the entire workforce along on the sustainability journey, educate them, inspire them, train them, show them how the work that they already know how to do in their daily jobs can actually help the company achieve the circularity or waste reduction commitments or targets that they have, because most employees just don't know. Companies aren't doing a particularly good job of communicating to their own internal stakeholders what they're doing in this space and why, and then most importantly, what everyday employees can do to really accelerate that. So I think there's a lot of important work to be done to just get people to understand what is a circular economy and how do the decisions I make in my daily job ladder up to that and affect it.
I think increasing that climate literacy is such a missing piece of what a lot of corporations do. Because, there's one thing to externally talk to consumers about it, but it's so much more powerful when you have an employee base backing that up and doing that in their daily work. So if you were to give a company 3 places to start, where would it be in the next 45 seconds?
Yeah, well, the first thing would be education, right? Because as you said, climate literacy, sometimes called sustainability fluency, is not something that most companies really have developed for their own workforces in-house.
Yeah.
And yet all of us get trained on things that aren't part of our day jobs all the time, accounting or business ethics or whatever, compliance.
Of course.
So train your workforce on sustainability. If that's not something that you can develop homegrown, you can outsource that. There's a whole ecosystem of companies now that provide, such as mine. And GreenBiz has amazing resources on sustainability upskilling. So I would start with education, because until you can get your workforce up to a baseline of climate fluency, they're not really going to be that effective.
Yeah.
After that, I think just communicating from top-down leaders that every job is a climate job. Sustainability should be a cultural value, not an operational thing that just one team does.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Drew. This is so helpful.
My pleasure.
Where can we find you? Where can the audience tap into your resources?
I have a website, drewwilkinson.earth, and I'm all over LinkedIn, so find me there.
Perfect. Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks.